What's going on, everybody? This is Seth Ward here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video. And today we got another matchup that's going to be very interesting to see. I think that this is going to be a trap game, in my opinion. Vanderbilt coming off a loss, but they had a bye week this week. LSU is still on a roll after losing to Ole Miss. They beat South Carolina. That game was pretty close up until the end of that game. So this game will be played on October 18th. Of 2025. Also, the rankings will change after later on today, which is a Sunday today, and it's going to be 12. Also, the game will be on a 12 p.m. Eastern game, which sucks, but it is what it is. So, as of further ado, let's go ahead and go through the video. So, the location will be at First Bank Stadium, which is in Tennessee. The Commodores play. So it looks like a pretty cool stadium to visit. And so, yeah, this will be at the game. Will be First Bank Stadium at the location for this game. Next, we got last week's results. Week number 7, LSU beat South Carolina 20-10, and the record is 5-1 and 2-1 in the conference. I believe they only have like possibly 2 or 3 more games that are tough on their schedule, and they could potentially. I think they have LSU. No, I think they have Alabama and Texas A&M. I don't recall, but I think they have those 2 games next. And if they beat those 2 teams, hey, potentially they could go to the college football playoff. So Vanderbilt last week, or they had a bye this week, which is week 7, but they lost to Alabama in week 6. But the score, it looks a lot different the way it should be. It's 30-14, but Vanderbilt had like 2 or 3 chances to score in the red zone, and they didn't convert on 4th down, which is crazy. And then Alabama took advantage of that, and they pretty much won that game because of that. So the record is 5-1 and 1-1 in the conference. Hey, Vanderbilt, shout out to Vanderbilt, because Vanderbilt has always played in a tough conference in the SEC. They're like that middle tier team, like Arkansas and all those other teams that struggle. But now, like Missouri is come up from the dust. Vanderbilt has come up as well. So hey, Vanderbilt and Missouri have done a great job the last 2 or 3 years, and those two teams that don't get a whole lot of coverage in the SEC, in my opinion, and now they're making a statement, I guess you can say. So this is going to be basically what I'm comparing Vanderbilt to Missouri. Missouri has been good, but they haven't been like elite, in my opinion. So, but Vanderbilt is starting to get that feel of, hey, maybe they can be actually a good football team in the future. So let's see how that goes. So next, we got the previous meeting. I'll probably get a lot of hate for that, but it is what it is. All right, last meeting, Vanderbilt and LSU was on November 23rd of 2024. LSU beat Vanderbilt on a 1-score lead, which is 24-17. Vanderbilt hasn't beaten LSU since like the 90s, and it's been like a long 2 decades of L's for Vanderbilt. So LSU leads Vanderbilt 25 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie in the all-time series. So they haven't really played a whole lot either as well. All right, so the top 3 offensive players and the top 3 defensive players by position. We got quarterback Garrett Nussmeier with 20 completions, 33 attempts, with 254 passing yards, average about 7.7 per throw, had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Probably needs to get those interceptions reduced and just make better decisions, I guess. So because they kind of struggle against South Carolina, which South Carolina is not a bad team. Running back for LSU, Caden Durham, had a good day yesterday. 15 carries, 70 yards, average about 4.7 per carry, and 0 touchdowns. A wide receiver, Trey'Dez Green, had a great game yesterday with 8 receptions, 119 yards of receiving, and a 14.9 average per catch, and a 1 touchdown as well. All right, next we got top 3 offensive players for Vanderbilt, with quarterback Diego Pavia with 21 receptions, 35 attempts, only had less than 200 yards, which is kind of crazy because he's been kind of going off this year with 198 passing yards, average about 5.7 per throw, had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Needs to get those touchdowns up, and if they want to beat LSU this upcoming weekend. All right, so running back Cedric Alexander, he had 4 carries, 76 yards, a rushing, average about 19.0 per carry, and had 1 touchdown. So solid day for him when they played against Alabama. Wide receiver Junior Sherrill, he had 6 receptions, 49 yards of receiving, average about 8.2 per catch. He had 0 touchdowns. So they definitely need to get back on their game because they like to pass the ball a lot with Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt in the SEC. All right, so the top 3 defenses for LSU, we got Jack Pyburn. Again, I always destroy names as much as I try to correct myself. It's a disaster. So forgive me for me always messing up people's names. I know I'm a YouTuber. I need to still learn these names, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be the same old results. So 6 total tackles, 2 solo, 0.5 sack, half tackles for loss as well. We got linebacker Wes Weeks with 9 total tackles, 3 solo. Then we got defensive back AJ Hulsey with 11 total tackles and 6 solo. So there you guys have it for LSU's defense. And Vanderbilt's defense, we got Zaylen Wood with 6 total tackles, 5 solo, 1 sack, and 1 tackles for loss. Linebacker Brian Longwell, 8 total tackles and 5 solo. And defensive back CJ Herb with 8 total tackles and 6 solo. So there you guys have it for the top 3 offensive players and top 3 defensive players. All right, so full team stats for LSU. On offense, they had 420 yards total offense. Defense, they allowed 317 yards on defense. Passing, they had 254 passing yards on offense, and they only allowed 124 yards on defense, which that is pretty solid because Lenore Sellers is actually a solid quarterback, but he's kind of fallen off a little bit. So hats off to LSU. They actually had a solid game against South Carolina. So rushing, they had 166 yards of rushing. They did allow almost 200 yards of defense, so they need to reduce that if they want to beat or they want to beat Vanderbilt. But I think Vanderbilt is not really known for their rushing. So defense, they allowed 193 yards of rushing. They had 3 turnovers, 5 penalties. Their time of possession was 28 minutes and 15 seconds. So they definitely need to reduce the penalties, and they definitely need to reduce the turnovers also. All right, so full team stats for Vanderbilt. Offense, they had 333 yards total on offense. Defense, they allowed 486 yards on defense, which is not great. Passing, they had 198 passing yards. They allowed 340 yards of passing on defense. They definitely need to reduce that against LSU. But their rushing game, they actually had a solid defensive rushing. They only had 146 yards allowed on defense. Not bad. Also, they did have 130 yards of rushing, which is not great if they want to get better at running game. They did have 2 turnovers, 5 penalties. Time of possession was 22 minutes and 37 seconds against Alabama. All right, so lastly, I believe that this will be a trap game for LSU. LSU is coming off a win against South Carolina, might be a little beat up, and Vanderbilt is going to be a little fresh off of a bye week. So I think that this is going to be a trap game, and Vanderbilt is going to beat LSU with my spread, which is -6. My prediction will be 29-23. This is just, I feel like it's going to be a trap game type of way, but at the end of the day, this is just a prediction. It probably won't ever happen. I think LSU will beat Vanderbilt, but it's at Vanderbilt, and it's Vanderbilt was coming off a bye week from an L that they wanted to beat Alabama, had a chance to beat Alabama, but Alabama's been on a roll the last 3 weeks with winning by like a field goal or less. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think about this game. I think it's going to be an interesting game to watch. It's going to be a trap game for LSU. It's going to be one of those games that are going to be like a wild ending type of thing or just a start of a crazy first half. But anyways, all right, guys, set for here. Y'all have a great rest of the night or great rest of the day. See you guys next time. Peace out.